Hey ballers, welcome to If These Balls Could Talk, where we talk about the latest in sports tech and pop culture. This is Mark, along with John and Pete, and we would like to welcome back to the podcast, Mr. Matt Angier. Welcome to the podcast again, Matt, and how are things with you?
Hey guys, thank you.
Somehow we understand that Matt is upside down.
Oh.
Do not adjust your television.
He is upside down on the YouTube too. That's awesome.
Yes.
So aside from being upside down, Matt, how are things?
Hey Pete, can you turn Craig on?
They're good.
Oh shoot, yeah.
No!
Damn
Good. I
it.
actually messed up the intro anyway.
All right, cool.
This is what happens when I'm too.
Now recording.
All right, sweet. So we're gonna do that again.
We're gonna do the
also,
intro
are
again.
we really like? I hope everybody really enjoys it on the stream. But are we really gonna do this with Matt upside down? I mean, like honestly, because I didn't think we were. He's like, we're ready.
I didn't think we were either. I didn't think we were either.
Go, baby.
All of a sudden, I saw Pete just counting down. It's like, oh, I guess we're doing this.
I don't know if I can rotate this. Hold on.
Oh, Pete's gonna do it in post. Fuck yeah, Pete. Fix it in post.
Here we go. Rotate 180 degrees. Yes.
Yes.
Delay.
All right.
Transitioning. Matt is now right side up
Wait.
in the show.
I want to see this. I want to see
Pete,
this. You're all right. He's so right.
Pete, I fucking love you,
That's
dude.
no longer hanging from the ceiling.
MVP.
All right, let's start the show over.
Hey, balls.
Yeah.
If these balls could talk, we talk about the latest in sports tech and pop culture. This is Mark with John and Pete, and we would like to welcome back to the podcast, Mr. Matt Angier. Good evening, Matt, and how are you doing?
Definitely not upside down.
No.
Hey guys. On my screen I am, but that's okay.
For everyone
That's right.
who listens to this
I'm doing good.
afterwards, we're going to do this whole podcast on Discord with Matt actually upside down as far as his stream. And it's going to be amazing. And you're not even going to know if you watch it on the stream on YouTube. So congratulations.
No.
This is
He's
awesome.
right side up on YouTube, too.
You're not even going to know. That's what I said.
I
It's
know.
amazing.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, he isn't.
And
Amazing.
it's if you watch the first 2 minutes of the show on YouTube, you'll see
Oh, what a feeling.
under Matt. Anyway,
Oh, what
John.
a feeling. Matt's dancing from the ceiling.
I just switched back
I
to
am-
my Discord window to like mute myself for a second because I had to clear my throat and I forgot Matt is still upside down on here.
As a
Amazing.
kind reminder, if you like what you hear or see, right, whether it's right side up or upside down, please like us and hit that subscribe button, or as we like to say, tickle that little bell.
I mean, only you like to say it. It's just you.
Just see
Love
what I
it.
did there.
You love it. I saw you tickling something.
Oh, you just a little
Aw.
tickle. Oh, sad panda.
John, how you been?
I'm great. The girls are on summer. Happy summer, ladies. And they got off.
Happy summer solstice too.
Woo. Oh,
Yep,
it is.
yep, happy summer solstice. Longest day of the year, shortest night. So exciting times. It is 100 million degrees in the northeast of America right now. New York.
That might be
is-
an exaggeration.
Oh no, it's actually 100 million degrees. I looked it up the temperature today. But we got ice cream again because it's Thursday. Congratulations, happy Ice
Yay.
Cream Thursday.
All right.
And I don't know. I have a bunch of really important work things coming up that will be great because they're always great. And how are you? So I wanted to preface the how is Mark with, did everyone on the stream and listening to the podcast watch the secret mission? The secret mission is posted. It's live. It's public. and
No, it's only
It's not
only
yet.
posted on YouTube right now. I want to put it.
incredible.
I want to put it on
Super
all
cool.
of the socials. However, I'm waiting to hear back from the director of the dance studio to see whether or not it's okay
Permission.
to put it all.
True story. All right. Well, it's awesome. Pete and I have seen it. It's amazing. It was worth the wait.
Mhm.
We will put out some version of it that I'm sure she will. If she doesn't approve this one, I'm pretty sure she will. But if she doesn't, we'll put out some other version.
Very
that's
far
approved.
away. The only reason I can make you out is because you're very bald.
I am, and very Asian.
Well,
And-
I can't.
He's got the signature moves too.
But the super secret mission was a success. Wow, successful super secret mission. How about that?
There you go.
We're not that drunk.
baby.
We're not that drunk.
Not yet.
So this about 3 months worth of rehearsals, and it was definitely worth it because we got a hell of a reaction. And it was just so much fun. I had also kickball playoffs the morning of the recital. So it was a very long day, and when I got home, I slept.
All right. Were the students aware, or was it a surprise for them?
It was a surprise. Now she does the dad dance every year, but she keeps it a secret from everyone. So we do dress rehearsals the night before, and it's completely closed off from all the students. And some of the teachers know about it, but most people are in the dark until they actually see it at the rehearsal or at the recital.
Rock and roll, man. And you killed it, man. Killed it. Straight up.
I loved it.
You should change your. You should get another job as a dancer.
Because I don't have enough jobs.
No, you need another.
No, hell no.
Pete, how are you?
I drove home in the craziest. Speaking of 100 million degrees,
The end of the world that happened today?
Yeah. So in New Lebanon,
end of the world. And here.
Earth decided it had enough with no rain and hot, so it just deluged an entire day's worth of rain in like 10 minutes. And in the time that it took for me to run out the door to my car, I was completely soaked. Opening the door and slamming it made my car completely soaked, and a lightning bolt landed less than half a mile in front of my car as I was driving. Like it was flash, and was like flash. I was like, oh shit, like really loud. But I got home. We're here.
Wait, did it sound like?
Yes, exactly that.
There was a couple of really impressive thundercracks today, like really impressive.
Yeah, did that get out this way? Well, anyway, so that working my ass off, and we got to see the Watchers. Though my bosses, they took us to the movies after we left work early yesterday. Though we did get to do that, do a viewing of the Watchers.
Was there a twist?
Kind of, yes, but I suspected it before we got there. I was like, this is gonna happen this way, and it did. I was like, oh, I got it.
Nice.
This is actually M. Night's daughter that directed this one.
Really?
Yes. It's pretty good.
Less of a twist.
I was about to give something away, but I'm glad I didn't. Watch it. It's cool. It's fun. I thought it was a cool movie.
There's the other one, too, about the serial killer who gets caught at the Taylor Swift, the Pretend World Taylor Swift concert, right? I don't know if you worked on that, but M. Night's coming out with that.
No. I did not work on that one.
Oh, excuse me.
All right.
All right. And now it's time for our guests to take over the show in our segment, Ball in the Corner Pocket. Take it away, Matt.
Come on, right sound effects, you guys.
My questions here. So, so I don't know. I had a couple options that I wanted to kind of go over, but I think I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I'm very curious as to how this year's gonna play out. I'm reading a lot of articles, and I'm not. It's not sounding too good for a backup quarterback this year. So I'm kind of wondering, like, is he gonna be what they want him to be? Is he gonna be able to step in and take over for Russell when that time comes, or is he just trade bait somewhere?
And we're talking about cousin Justin Fields, yes.
Justin Fields,
cousin Justin Fields.
Yes.
So what are people saying? Are people like he's not getting the offense?
From what
honestly, people aren't saying anything. The things that the things that I have read are that Russell is a fantastic mentor and that he's learning a lot. I mean, it's the shit he has to say. It's his job to say. I also have seen that the interesting pop culture news was surrounding this is that Russell Wilson is returning field goals in Madden right now. So you're like, or kickoffs in Madden right now. So you're like,
what?
Because he's very fast.
Well, no, Justin.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Justin Fields.
Yeah. The opening scene for Madden 25 is Justin Fields.
Interesting.
Fielding a kickoff.
Right.
and handing it off on top of that.
And handing it off on top of that.
Damn.
Yep. I don't know. Honestly, I think that
I don't know. I'm kind of worried.
I have always thought that the plan was that even last season when it felt like they were doing him favors, that the Bears really never did him any favors. They Mark is famous on saying right before his breakout games, not in 23 and 22, that they thought they were done and they traded the whole team away, which they did. They traded the whole defense away. There were very few weapons, lots of coaches. I mean, we're talking about this in all of this rookie talk that we've been doing. That rookies need stability, right? They need one offensive coordinator. They need somebody who they really understand. They need one coach, and they need good skill players. And I don't think the Bears had any of those. And really, the Steelers do. Not to mention, even though Russ is on the dark side of his career, a Super Bowl experience quarterback in Russell Wilson. So,
and at least you have the coaching stability in Pittsburgh, right? It's like they get
like
pretty much 10
better.
wins and make the playoffs every year, no matter what. It's a nice place, I think, to reset.
Yeah, it'll be
I
interesting
agree.
to see if he doesn't make it in
I'm just
Pittsburgh.
curious.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Tomlin has also been on the record saying that there's a lot of meat left on those bones. Like he is very excited of the possibility of coaching Justin still.
Right. Like
I don't think
Fields is not exactly, even though he's been in the league a few years, he's not exactly like an older veteran quarterback. He's still, how old is he now? Like what, 24? Like he's not old at all.
Something like that. Yeah.
Like this is fourth year?
I mean, he's still in his learning ages.
I think so.
Fourth year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's 25, Pete.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That was one off. Hey, you know what? It took, do you guys remember Rich Gannon? He was like just a so-so journeyman quarterback. He was always the backup, sometimes the starter of the Vikings. It took until like his 10th season, and all of a sudden he was like, oh, okay. And then he won like MVP that year and led the Raiders to a Super Bowl. So you never know when it just someday it just clicks and he'll get it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll certainly see.
I hope so. I mean, we'll certainly see if the Bears are
have any chance of being good this season, because they went and they put together an all-star team.
Kind of, but it's still probably needs a year or two to gel, I think.
And it's still young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many games do you feel Russell Wilson's going to start before they're like, okay, it's time to bring in Fields and see what he can do?
It depends on how fast it falls apart, honestly.
Well, it depends on how well Russell plays, too. Like, if Russell's playing great.
Okay, well, how well do you think it's going to go?
2022 Russ or 2023
I'm
Russ?
saying December.
Okay, so he's going to make it all the way then.
He doesn't make 2022 Russ doesn't make it till December. 2023 Russ might, maybe.
We'll see what happens with that Pittsburgh offensive line, because because they didn't do a lot to improve it. I mean, I think they drafted a center, but it's still not like what it could be or what it should be to protect the quarterback. So it doesn't matter who's behind, who's at the helm, if they're going to get run over by a 300-pound defensive end.
Yeah, but if anything, they have the two QBs that can elude and evade pass rushing pretty well. I would think. I mean, like they had Mason Rudolph taking snaps last year for the whole back half of the season, and he's got
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Right. I don't see either of those two as really being like pocket eluding, athletic, scramble around and make something happen kind of person.
Well, and also, right, Russ is short and Justin really isn't, right? 6'3" versus what is Russ? 5'11"?
Right.
And that's what he's listed at.
5'11", yeah.
With the risers in the shoes.
With the risers in the shoes. I mean, short quarterbacks. I mean, there's some short quarterbacks who have been really, I mean, like, right, there's a lot of really good ones, but there's a lot of really bad ones. And if you look at the current version of the league, Bryce Young comes in and Bryce Young's a short quarterback and he doesn't do well at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Did you say
I like
Drew Brees? Sorry, I had to clear my throat.
I was gonna say Drew Brees and didn't come in, so I just kind of.
I like how we call him short. He's my height.
I mean, he's a short.
For a QB,
he's still taller than I am.
Yeah.
Everybody, you guys have met me sitting down. Everyone's taller than me.
Not Doug Flutie. I think he was 5'7", right?
Yikes!
I think he was listed at 5'9".
That's why every ball that came out of Doug Flutie's hands had to be at like that 30-degree arc up first before it could go down.
On our last 30 seconds, and just because it doesn't matter, do you think that Justin Herbert asked for Joe Alt specifically? Because if my center was 7'1", I'd be really happy.
Herbert or Fields? Did we switch over?
No. We kind of switched over.
Okay, to Herbert.
I just was
Right,
you were
because
talking about
they got that stud offensive lineman.
great
Right?
offensive lineman, and I keep thinking of anytime an offensive line is mentioned this season, I'm so excited to see Joe Alt play.
Joe
'Cause
Alt is a mammoth of a man, and we retweeted or reposted on X this picture that was taken at minicamp with Joe Alt standing up, and just at the angle that it was, the defensive lineman looked like it was half his size. Like Joe Alt's just a large man.
Was
he 5th overall?
According to Google, 5th overall, according to Google, 6'8", 322.
Oh, I thought he was actually 7 feet tall. That would have been amazing.
No, but he's pretty damn close.
But, I mean, 6'8", 322 is no slouch.
And I want to look up Joe Alt's 40 time.
Dude, he was 5'10".
What are you fucking kidding me?
What was it?
5'0". He ran a 5.05 in
Which
the
is
combine.
Slow compared to some other players for that size. Holy crap!
It's not that slow.
Yeah, but he's so tall, he probably only needs to take 3 steps in the 40.
Right. Force
So,
equals
Matt,
MA. That's
We're
plenty
up
of
to the next
force.
question, but did you not get the script?
Yeah, you got more. You can ask the other two too.
Oh, I can ask. Oh, I thought I only got to choose one.
No, you
No,
have
you got
the
all three,
power.
buddy. I got the power.
Oh, well, then I definitely got him. So my other one was, the Tyson Jake Paul fight. I was really excited about this, and I'm wondering if it was a true. Who really called it off? Was it Tyson really not feeling well?
Well, it's not called off.
Was
it's just
it
postponed.
Delayed, right?
or postponed? But is there a reason for it?
I mean, who would have thought that
I
a boxing match would get postponed because of an ulcer?
No,
I don't know if I've heard that one
have
before.
fights with
I mean,
60-year-old people in them, so
it's
maybe
the
that's
first
why.
60-year-old that's been in a professional rated boxing match.
Exactly.
I mean,
That
I don't
could
know.
be it.
For a long
Was it-
time, Mike Tyson has been out for a buck, right? He loves making money and being ridiculous. Like to the Wayne, he wore like a law office T-shirt, right? It's probably somebody who bailed him out of jail once. Like,
probably.
I mean, Tyson gives zero fucks about anything, and so like the fact that he maybe is not the monster that he used to be, that we've been saying he is, because we don't know nothing about fighting.
Dad, have you seen the TikTok videos?
I have seen the TikTok
He
videos.
is still a scary man.
Well, right. But
He's not
I
as
don't know.
fast as he used to be, but he's still a fucking scary man.
I don't know. Jake Paul's a big boy.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of reach.
So Matt, what do you think is going on?
I don't know. I just think Paul kind of got a little cold feet.
You think it's more on Jake Paul than Tyson?
I
Interesting.
do.
Interesting.
I think Tyson's going to come out and surprise a lot of people, and he's just going to ground and pound him. He's just
Why would Tyson make the excuse then? Like, do you
pretty
think it
good
was
in
just sort of?
sparring and all that stuff, and he's still got some speed.
Do you think Tyson
Well,
did it out
that
of
was
respect
Tyson's
for him?
MO when he was younger, right? He would just go through hellfire and whatnot. Just like the most boxing matches would probably run 1, 2, 3 rounds, if that. And if it went and when it went longer, that's usually when he would gas out.
Right.
Just like the video.
So,
game.
guys, if I don't know if you know, because Jake Paul's a fucking animal. He's like, well, I still got to fight that day, so he's going to fight Mike Perry, who is a martial artist and a bare knuckle boxer, and I'm not sure if he's going to bare knuckle box him. He's like, well, I got to fight. Shit.
I think it's still a boxing match.
They're gonna wear. They're gonna wear.
I was gonna say, because like, what if he fucks up his hand before the Tyson?
Paul's got to
fight?
protect his pretty face, right?
That too.
Yeah, it's gonna be in Tampa, and apparently, he keeps winning though. Jake Paul. He just beat Ryan Borland. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about fighting. Paul, we're gonna have to message our friend of the show, Paul Arante, and see what he thinks about the change.
Fighter himself and consultant on.
It was supposed to be next month, right?
Yeah.
And now it's November,
July 20th.
Yes.
Right, and he will still, like I said, be fighting on July 20th. And yeah,
I mean,
in November now, and really, I think it's going to depend on Tyson's overall ability, because it's ranked. I read a bunch of things about fairness and about making sure it's the most competitive fight that they can offer. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a professional organization that has to at least think about it being good.
And this could all be a marketing thing too. Like there's been so
interest,
much hype, and now we're building even more hype. We're
Just
talking
pushing
about
it
it even
back.
more.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Right.
I mean, I
So-
might get Netflix to watch this fight.
Yeah.
No, you won't.
I might.
You watch it on YouTube, just like you watched the Tom Brady roast. Side note: I was listening to Brady like totally break down like an offensive scheme today and how hard it is to be a wide receiver one, and I was like, Brady knows a lot. He's really good at football.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what
He's
made
gonna be a
him the
great
best
analyst on
QB in the
Fox.
world. It's
He'd
not
be a great analyst on Fox.
right.
Yeah.
Think like a supercharged version of Tony Romo.
He wouldn't be a
if
good
he has
coach
the personality.
because I don't know if he can get into the minds of other people. Like he could definitely break the game down, like Belichick and whatnot. But whether or not he can inspire others and be able to get the best out of other players is it's very hard for superstar athletes to do that. Like there have been very few superstar athletes that have been successful head coaches.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson tried coaching, he failed. Larry Bird did try it for a few years, and he was okay, but he actually had a lot of help in order to be successful.
Did John Madden play
And
before he
I can't
coached?
think of any. Patrick Ewing, another fantastic player, hasn't been that really good of a coach.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
Did Reggie Miller try coaching?
I don't know. That's a good
Fuck
question.
that guy.
I don't know why. The only reason why I can think of NBA players right now, I'm sure there've been like.
I mean, there are.
Is it
Patrick Waugh. Patrick Waugh. He was actually an okay
Jesus,
head
John,
coach.
turn on mute.
John,
Yeah.
who's the
Sorry,
coach of
John's
the
new here. This is the first day.
Who's the coach of the Titans? Wasn't
I
he a
think
former player?
Didn't Patrick Waugh coach the Avalanche for a season? Pete, does that ring a bell to you?
No, it doesn't. I mean, maybe.
Pete, are you dead?
Yeah. What? Am I on mute?
Pete's
on mute.
Pete's on mute.
Oh, damn it! I've been on mute again. I did it again. I've been talking this whole time, like, guys.
Sometimes, Pete, we just have to put you on mute. Buddy.
Hashtag let Pete talk.
Pete's on a timeout.
Pete's on a timeout.
I was gonna say, isn't the current Tennessee Titans coach a former good player?
I mean, there's a shitload of
And
them.
was John Madden a former player, or did he just get into coaching young?
He was a
never
young
played.
coach. Yeah, he didn't really play.
Okay.
I mean, he didn't play professionally.
Let's just even think about like head coaches and like
Right.
head coaches that you know the name of that used to be QBs, like Jim Harbaugh, Jason Garrett, Sean
Harbaugh, right.
Payton.
Again,
Mike
none of
Ditka,
them
Tom
were
Coughlin,
really good players. Mike Ditka was an
Ditka was a good
exception.
player.
He was a really good player.
Was he
Nick
a linebacker?
Saban, Cliff Kingsbury, Tom Flores, Jim Zorn, like shitload. They're all quarterbacks.
All terrible head coaches.
There was like this
I
one
mean,
super famous
Harbaugh
guy.
and Tom fucking
I'm
Coughlin.
sorry.
two Super
I'm sorry.
Bowls.
All the ones that were good head coaches were terrible players.
Yeah, well, yeah. Nobody knows about Tom Coughlin's NFL career.
In the pre-Super Bowl era days, there was this one dude who was like this epic player in the 1920s, and then he went on to be this amazing coach, and then he became like an amazing owner, and then pretty much like brought the league into modern era. But I forget.
Fuck,
his
guys, I love our bits.
name. Okay.
They're so stupid, and they make me happy. And Matt, do you have any other questions for us, my friend?
Just the one, the Charlie Woods there, with his win this weekend. I think what was he 1 under? Is I don't know. Is it too hyped? Is he going to be too compared to his dad too much, or do you think he's really
definitely
gonna
be compared to his dad?
kind
And
of change the game?
I think he's leading the tournament that he's in now as well. So, I mean, Charlie Woods
That might have been what I saw 1 under.
Yeah. No. I think you're right. I think he won his last tournament, but he's also leading after the first round in this weekend's tournament.
Okay.
Time will tell.
All right,
But-
so I think the most important part about this story is the qualification for the junior national championship. The fact that his dad has won 5 of them, right, in the beginning of his career, and he's really on the same trajectory. I mean, that win, while impressive, and it was important because it's really starting to catapult him into the professional ranks.
Yeah.
Right?
He's definitely on the same trajectory as Tiger was.
and he can hit it a fucking country mile. Like I mean,
he definitely
he
has
drives
the
so
ability.
far, right? He's so talented, and right, he's had the best player in the whole entire world be his coach for his entire life.
Yeah. Hopefully Tiger hasn't taught him the other things that he's done in his life.
Yeah. It's like maybe make fewer headlines for the wrong reasons than I did.
Less hookers, Charlie.
Yeah.
Less
Yeah.
hookers.
It's a shame
Less
because
drugs.
Tiger
Less
was
drugs.
even if
Less
he can
drugs.
just surpass his dad in longevity, because like Tiger for 10 years was just immortal in the sport of golf, and then it just his body fell apart amidst all the other
He
like,
had such
shenanigans
a
that we're talking
ferocious swing when he
Yeah.
was younger.
Yeah.
Like ferocious.
about, right?
Like his whole body was into it. I mean, even if it wasn't for that horrific car accident that he got in, even before that, his body was breaking down. How many
Sure.
surgeries has he had? Like,
Oh yeah.
again, not even counting the car accident.
Mhm.
Right. We were
On
talking his
back,
return to
on his
majors as like
knees.
comeback tournaments even before the car accident.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to take a second to talk about like the torque stress on your body in a real golf swing?
Sure.
I mean,
Let's
it's
talk
different
about it.
for each player, right? I guess
Yeah.
because some can just do
Yeah.
it forever.
I can't
but-
remember what his average swing speed was. It was ridiculous. It was not as bad as John Daly, but he was.
But he had so
Awesome.
much. He put so
it
much
was
strain
quick.
on all of his joints. I mean, it was quick and it was vicious.
128
Mm-hmm.
miles an hour.
Damn.
I always wonder. I don't know. Has anyone actually measured how fast?
He was in his prime. It was 180.
180 miles an hour.
Personally, or like you're talking about like on the golf course, like on a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy fast.
Has anyone measured their club speed
Well, that's the ball.
at like a
Mine's not
virtual
that fast.
range?
Mine's not
Yeah,
that fast.
I think I hit 130 once, and that was hitting it as hard as I
Nice.
could. But I mean, I have long. Look at these things. They're just
For everyone who is listening after the fact, Pete is waving his arms like a weirdo.
like an inflatable,
like
flailing
that
arm tube, man.
inflatable.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, inflatable arm flailing tube man.
I can't
Inflatable
help
arm
but
flailing tube man.
swing a club
Inflatable
fast.
arm flailing tube man.
Right. Orbital momentum, like right. If you swing the club at a larger circumference, it's going to swing at a faster speed.
Science.
Yes.
So
If you swing the
Rory
clubs hard.
McIlroy.
Go ahead, Matt.
Rory McIlroy swings at 100. His swing speed's 123.
Really?
It's
Okay.
McIlroy. So
That's
I
that's
couldn't.
pretty slow and smooth, honestly. Like now, granted, when I swung mine at like whatever speed that was,
Slowest
that wasn't the
is-
most accurate swing. I was just like literally trying to kill it to get a high number on the machine.
I would think the one that
The
has
lowest
the fastest
is right now currently.
Yeah, I would think that the fastest swing right now is probably Bryson, because he swings the club pretty hard.
Some of those
Now,
guys
he also-
can hit it.
He also used to look like a football player.
Right. Yeah,
And-
some of these guys now can
Yep.
hit it. Like Brooks Koepka, doesn't he have a huge swing? Like some of these guys drive it further than Tiger did in his prime, and it's amazing to watch.
Well, this is what Tiger started. Like he worked out. Like golfers didn't used
Yeah.
to have to work out; they just played the game.
He was
And
like,
now they have at all of these PGA tournaments, they have these gyms set up so that golfers can actually do a workout after their round or before the round, depending on when it is.
yeah.
So the fastest swing on the tour right now is Cameron Champ at 124.7.
Okay, so maybe mine wasn't 130.
And
miles an hour.
so controlled, it's showing they all do in the 120 to 128 mile per hour range, generating somewhere from 180 to 200 miles per hour ball speed.
Oh, that's what it was. It was the ball speed not the swing speed.
So
that I
yeah,
remember.
ball
Okay.
speed.
Because
was
swing
that?
speed
That's
doesn't.
different.
There's
Bryson
some of the
just
physics that
Shambo.
generates the speed,
Yeah.
right? Because
Mhm.
of the lever arm and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And out of
Bryson
time.
in 2021 was 191.
Damn.
He was
191
like
of
40 to
ball
50
speed.
pounds heavier than he is now, though, because he packed on all that weight because all he wanted to do was
Yeah.
hit ball hard.
Ugh.
But he's lost
Happy
a
Gilmore
lot
style.
of weight, and it helped him obviously because he won last weekend U.S. Open.
There you go.
When ball go far, less hits to do at end.
Yes. It's a good way to end it right there.
We would like to thank this week's fake sponsor, Turbo Tunes wireless earbuds. Experience unparalleled sound quality with Turbo Tunes wireless earbuds. Designed to stay put during the most intense workouts. Turbo Tunes. Music that moves with you. All right, everyone.
I thought you were going to go somewhere different with the word intense.
All right, everyone. Shall we kick off this shindig?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Although I kind of want to know where I can get a pair of those earbuds. Those sound really nice.
Those are definitely real. Sorry, Turbo Tunes. Turbo Tunes Inc. TurboTunes.com.
All right. Pick a music genre, and that's what I'll do the first topic song.
Ooh. Wait, I have
Electronica.
one just appeared in my head.
I don't have electronica song.
Dance.
What about the first topic's the deepest?
Baby, I know.
All right, we'll just use that.
Sorry, it just popped into my head.
So it's kind of a continuation of something that was mentioned last week. A lot of people are hearing lots of stories about Caitlin Clark. Most recently, it was a flagrant foul against heated rival Angel Reese and also getting excluded from the U.S. Olympic basketball team. Regardless, the Indiana Fever are averaging about almost 17,000 people at their games, which, believe it or not, is higher than 2 NBA teams this past season. Ooh. And the league overall has more attendance than ever in the last 20 years. Also, TV viewership has increased, including the highest rated women's basketball game ever with the aforementioned teams of Clark and Reese. So the league is getting what it wants from the Caitlin Clark effect, but some people are rearing for a backlash. So everyone, are we starting to experience Caitlin Clark overload or overexposure? And yes, I realize that that's an oxymoron, bringing that topic up in this.
I mean, Angel Reese certainly is, and most of the women in the WNBA, they're tired of it.
They're definitely tired of it.
Oh, yeah.
So, and all the thing that anybody gets asked for. There was a story this past week where Angel Reese had like a little bit of a nervous breakdown and started to get really pissed off at the press, and they're required to do press in the NBA and WNBA. Mm-hmm. So she's just like, you guys always turn around everything I say, so I'm not going to say anything. She was like, yep, I'm here. What up?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. But then yesterday, she scored a double-double, got a double-double, and broke a WNBA record. She had a great game, and this guy won. I think that she's not wrong. I think that the drama of the both of them and of Breanna Stewart being great and all of the really great players really being great now is making the WNBA a lot better. And that makes sense, right? Not so long ago, you didn't know many WNBA players, and now you know 10, 15, right?
I will say that the two aforementioned stories, I think, have been blown way out of proportion. First of all, it was very clear to me that Angel Reese was trying to go for the ball and she just missed and she got Caitlin Clark's head. And they both
it wasn't blatant.
No, absolutely. It did not look blatant at all. It definitely looked like it was a basketball move. And both of them even said, like, yeah, it was a hard foul. It was a basketball play. That shit happens in basketball. We do not have to, like, every time there's a flagrant foul in the NBA, we don't say, oh, that must have been intentional. It's like, oh, we don't talk about that. We're talking about this because it's Caitlin Clark. Now, with regards to the Olympic team, personally, I don't think Caitlin Clark did deserve to be on the Olympic team.
She's not good with the ball.
I think you want the 12 best players on the team, and while Caitlin Clark is good, I don't think she was a good fit for that team. I think that Angel Reese was actually a better fit on that team than Caitlin Clark because
the guards are a lot better. And when you think about it, and you're right, the guards that have made the U.S. Olympic team are all of the really long-standing veterans. People like Breanna Stewart, who is the best player in the whole entire league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner,
who is a
Sabrina
Hall of Famer.
Ionescu. Yeah.
Ionescu, who almost beat Steph Curry in the three-point competition.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these like incredible women who are great, like have been consistently great. And the thing that is happening, what I said, is Caitlin Clark throws the ball away a lot. Like, she has a significant amount of turnover. She turns the ball over. I mean, she scores a lot of points, but she also turns the ball over a lot. And the Fever have just started to kind of figure it out, but they're still losing, and they're still kind of losing a lot.
I mean, it just sounds like a rookie going through, learning the ropes at this high of a level. By the next Olympics, guarantee you she'll probably be much more stable and be like, wished to be on the team, or like they'll welcome her with open arms. But until then, she has some learning to do.
Right now, they have the last 2 number 1 draft picks, right? Caitlin Clark, number 1, Aaliyah Boston, number 1, right? So they have possibly top 5 guard, top 5 center in the whole league, right? That's not an exaggeration, Mark, right?
Probably not.
And they're still losing,
Yeah, I know.
And then
I want to say it again. It's probably coaching.
And then teams like the Aces and the Liberty aren't losing, and they don't lose a lot. And then
because of coaching.
Because of coaching, right? But also because the reason that the Celtics were so fucking good is the Celtics were 10 deep, right? You couldn't beat the Celtics because when when Tatum had to sit on the bench, somebody else scored 20 points.
I'm curious about Matt's because we've talked about the WNBA a lot, but Matt hasn't had the opportunity. And Matt, I'd love to know kind of what your position on Caitlin Clark is, because I'm assuming you've heard of her. And I guess do you think overall she's good for the game, and do you think she's being overexposed?
I don't watch basketball that often. Men's, women's, college, anything, but I was interested in seeing this season just on how much hype she was getting and in the last few games of the college and leading into the draft, and how guaranteed she was as first pick. So I have watched highlights of stuff. I think she has the potential to be what they want her to be and what they're hoping she'll be, but she definitely isn't showing that yet.
Yeah.
I think she is high scoring, but a lot of the highlight reels I see, she's always looking for that 3-point line. There's not very few,
how they play the game now, Matt.
Quick jumpers. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just you hit 6-7 3-pointers, you're 18, 21 points. So you can, but you don't see that. Eventually that's going to be gone. Can she do other things? Yeah. Can she get in there? And like John said, I do see a lot of turnovers. I see a lot of passes that she's making. Like, where were you going with that? It's like Neil McDonald in the Super Bowl. Like, you're just straight up passing it to the other team.
I mean, at this point, she's averaging 16 points a game,
talent,
which is a lot, but not.
But a lot of turnovers too.
And she has 6 assists per game. She's never really crashing the boards, so 5 rebounds a game is actually very good for her.
She's always so far away from the baskets.
Right, she's only 6 feet tall. You'd think that 6 feet tall is tall, but actually the size of the women really reflect the size of the men. The positions are all just about the same. So. Anyway,
right,
Mark,
real quick, because I know we're out of time. Yes or no from everyone. Is Caitlin Clark getting overexposed, Matt?
Yes.
John?
I mean, no, because I think that
it's quick answer. Pete?
No.
I think she's on the cusp.
Well, yeah, it's borderline, but my yes is because of like what John's saying. Like it's gotten us all talking about it.
No, we're going to rewind, though, because we've been talking about it having to be the same. You saw a shitload of Curry and Braun and Luka and Don. You saw all the stars in the NBA this past season. Tatum, all the guys scoring 50 points and doing amazing things. I mean, it's about time that the WNBA gets that. And that's what this is. She's one of the best players, so she's on SportsCenter a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's time for something different.
Oh.
Mark, you want to sing us a song?
I do. Ready? You're going to love this.
All right, good.
Whoa, 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 Everybody
highlights
wants
are
to
getting
hear the
clipped.
next topic.
Amazing. So
Nice.
happy. I'm gonna get Matt involved right away. So after a storied 2023 where Matt's Atlanta Braves won 104 games and broke many National League records, including home runs at 281, the 2024 season is playing out just a bit differently. In the end of May, the Braves suffered a blow when National League MVP and star player Ronald Acuna Jr. suffered a torn left ACL, taking him out for the remainder of the season. So now, Acuna's numbers for this season were nowhere close to his 2023 numbers with a 250 batting average and only 4 home runs, but it's still a major blow. So, nearing the halfway point of the season, the Braves are now 8 games behind the red-hot Philadelphia Phillies. How do we think the rest of the season will fare? With the NL feeling overall pretty weak and them already having a comfortable lead with the top wild card slot, will it even matter?
I think they're going to stay at second. They're not going to overcome Philly
Phillies are too
unless
good.
Philly
Too good.
completely mets down.
Did you say unless they met
Atlanta's-
down?
Melt down. But yeah, Atlanta's.
Sorry, Jeffem.
Atlanta is
I was
not
like, is that a
even,
verb now?
Yes.
It should
Amazing.
be. It should be.
God.
Yeah, but they're not going to leave second place. They're going to be there, but they'll the wild card they'll hold. Acuna is a massive.
The
for them
second
because
time
the
he's
second
tore
half
his
of the year has
ACL.
always-
Same one?
The second
Oh,
time.
and then he had his hand too, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
But
So
is it the same
it's
ACL a
just-
second time or
I
the
don't
other
know.
one?
I don't think.
No, I think it's his other leg,
No, I think
right?
it's the opposite.
Yeah. But still,
Yeah,
he's going to be
so,
rebuilt like the $6 million man.
I mean,
Yeah, the last one was in 2021.
Yuck.
Such a current
That
reference.
sucks.
Yes. Really very current. The thing about it that's so messed up, Pete, is he's only 26 years old, right? And he's coming off
He's so young. He's
the
so
literal
young.
best professional season he's ever had.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And the Braves,
He's an amazing player. He's an amazing
yes, he's fast. He's just totally
player. He's a
5-tool.
5-tool player. He's a 5-tool player.
Totally 5-tool.
I'm just waiting for Chris Sale to break down next month.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, though. The Braves are still incredibly good. They're young and they're deep. What do you think is happening, though? Like, why didn't Acuna fire in the beginning of the season? Because, like, he hurt himself, but it was kind of having a shitty year.
Yeah. He started out pretty quiet, but the other guys were starting off pretty strong.
Yeah. Sometimes you
So
just have
kinda
slow
masked
starts.
it a little bit, but then
Yeah.
but something happened maybe 20, 30 games in there. They just kind of they lost something, and I don't know what it was, but they're in a slump, and
Well,
who knows? They've had solid
lost Snyder
Julys
too,
and
right?
Augusts.
Isn't Snyder hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah. How
And,
long is he out for?
Yeah. I think
It's a
he's out
while, right? It's
through
not like a
break, is
season
he?
ending. Yeah, it's not a season ending, but he's out for a while. So
No.
when you lose your ace, that's
Yeah.
clearly, unless you're the Yankees, that's clearly going to be a bad thing.
He's back, by the way.
Mhm.
I know. I heard he's back. What did they do with Gill?
I didn't say. It
Okay.
hasn't really come up yet.
So now
But,
they're 7 games back. I mean, how long does it typically take to make up that kind of a gap? Or is it?
a long time. 7's a lot.
Like all year.
But
Yeah.
I mean, we still have half the
Yeah.
season left.
But
Yeah.
7's a lot.
Yeah.
The thing is,
But it could
that
take
we've been
half the season.
you're learning about
I mean-
baseball this whole year being on the show, Pete. But like,
Slowly but surely.
even good teams lose and even bad teams win, right? And
Well,
so
maybe it's a good
if
thing
you're-
to be the wild card team now, though. You know, if you're
it's a
gonna
good
have,
thing to be the wild card
if you're
team.
gonna have
Yeah.
a whole week off in between games, if you're like the number 1 or 2 seed, maybe you should be in the wild card team.
I mean, the 4s and 5s have been
Mhm.
winning like a lot, like 2 seasons in a row now, right?
Yeah.
That the 100-game winners have all failed out, all of them.
First round.
Yeah, first round. Well, second round technically, right?
Yeah, they never should have gotten rid of the 1-game play-in game for the wild card.
I liked the play-in. That was good.
Having a
Yeah.
best of 3 series just totally screws everything up.
Well, and also they want to televise it all. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's about getting butts in seats and making more money, and that's what they're doing. And I don't necessarily think they give a shit who wins at the end of the day, as long as the markets are reasonable.
If the players are unhappy, you don't want to necessarily make the players unhappy.
Yeah.
Do you think they really care?
No.
If they're making
billionaires don't care.
If they're making more money and just like, I don't think they really care.
They should.
I'm gonna put my camera to my face next. I'm just
Do it.
Fuck this blurry camera. Bullshit.
All right.
Can't even.
Are we moving on?
54 seconds. We could. Why don't we move on?
Oh, so you don't start the clock until after you're done the intro?
I start it when I remember. So
that sounds like when I ran the clock too.
Yes, that is what happens. I can make it beep again if that's not annoying enough.
No, that was totally annoying.
All right, we killed that time. Time has been killed, everyone. Mark, sing me a song, my friend.
I never want to hear you say, I don't want that next topic.
Yeah.
That's right. We only want to hear you say you want the next topic.
The NFL, yeah, I actually did change the lyrics because I didn't want you want them to hear the next topic.
Right.
So anyway, so the NFL offseason is definitely in full swing right now. And as per usual, the quarterbacks are getting all the money, including most recently Trevor Lawrence getting an average of $55 million per year because he just had to outshine Jared Goff. And you know how much I feel about Jared Goff. Meanwhile, the non-quarterbacks are struggling to get their big contracts and are countering by holding out on team activities like Brandon Ayuk, Jamar Chase, Cameron Haywood, and Hassan Reddick. And then there's the Cowboy side of it all with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons all expecting big money deals. So everyone, do NFL players need more leverage for contracts other than holding out of practices and minicamps? And what are we going to do about these quarterback salaries?
So, you want to go for John? You made a sound first. Go ahead.
You know I like making. I mean, I'm always gonna. Yeah, my job is to talk, so I'm always gonna talk. And all I was gonna say is that our conversation that we had, like an hour ago, is that Danny Dimes went and fucked everything up.
Danny Dimes fucked everything up.
Yeah.
As much as we joke about him being the bar of franchise quarterbacks, he's certainly become it.
Well, but you think about it, right? All these guys have had contracts after him, and they're all like, well, I know how good I am. And Danny got 40, so I need more than 40. And so now the bar jumped all the way to 55.
Mm-hmm.
All the way the fuck up there to 55 for like the top guys, and not even top. Jared Goff, like Trevor Lawrence is good, but he's not.
He has a career record of 20-30.
Right, he's not elite. He's not that good. He made the playoffs once.
Once.
So
he's
Jared Goff makes
great
55. Trevor Lawrence makes 55. Like,
Joe
and then
Burrow.
the guys who, well, Joe Burrow deserved 55 before he broke his body and is kind of injury prone. But when you set the value in a financial market, then that value sticks, and then all the values have to adjust around it. So Danny Dimes went and fucked everything up. Pete made a joke earlier. He said that the quarterbacks need their own salary cap, and if they just made a rule, if they made a
talks
rule
about
one day,
it.
That's what I was going to say. There's actually
surprised.
talks about that now. It's not just
I
a
wouldn't be
joke.
surprised.
It sounds like
you
a
know
joke,
why are we bailing out these NFL owners for doing this in the first place?
Yeah.
Come on. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you billionaires?
Well, here's the thing. And Pete should definitely talk, but Pete says this all the time. The value of the quarterback position in the NFL, in the current NFL, and the current throwing NFL, is you can't be good without a top quarterback. You just can't.
It's become such a differentiator on team predicted success and actual success to where I feel like it's the one position in sports that deserves to be in its own category of cap whatever. Yeah. Or maybe they're just exempt from it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it just doesn't count. Just doesn't count against it. Actually, it's pretty good.
Well, but the problem with that is that, right, your larger market franchises will just throw money at people.
Exactly.
So
like the Cowboys.
Right. Yeah.
What were you going to say before, though, Pete?
Well, the other thing to go to your other point of the question is, like, what leverage do these players have other than holding out? And I mean, that's really
That's all they have. That's all they have.
Right. To me, that's a failure of the NFLPA, or maybe it's not necessarily a failure of theirs, but it's just the NFL being this immovable juggernaut that just won't budge with this kind of stuff. Well, the NFLPA tries to negotiate contract setups. They're fighting for player safety, for, restrictions and some limitations on practice so that, players don't die, as well as different salary agreements. But it seems like, especially in the last 20 years, with the advent of rookie salaries being very low, I think the NFL is getting the upper hand of the NFLPA when it comes to contract negotiations and structures. I mean, it certainly seems that way. And teams even, at least this was in hockey, like there was even some evidence of like collusion between owners to like force salaries down. So
here's the thing,
that's
though,
what
right?
you're fighting.
Like, holding out rarely. I mean, it works, but it doesn't always work, and sometimes it backfires. And like, you look at the really good Steelers team of like, what is it now, 8 years ago with Lev Bell and AB.
Le'Veon Bell,
crazy. Like Lev Bell held out, and he never came back.
Nope.
He never came back to the league. He just totally pissed away.
Well, he
his
did.
career.
He did, but he wasn't the player that he was.
No, he wasn't. Because now what you're doing is you're making, you're being a little bit of a Karen, and you're proving to teams that you're not a team player, right? I mean, you are, though.
You still got to look out for you and your family, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, if that's the only bargaining chip that you have, you kind of have to use it if you can. And if someone calls your bluff, like they did with Le'Veon Bell, and you might be a little SOL. It does sometimes. It does sometimes. I think it's going to work for Jamar Chase.
I think it's going to work for Jamar Chase, too.
I hope it works for CD Lamb.
I don't know what the Cowboys are going to do. You have to pay, because Dak wants money, CD Lamb wants money, and Micah Parsons. I'm sorry. Of all three of them, Micah Parsons is the one that deserves the most money, I think.
Anyway,
I just want him to pay because I have him on my fantasy. So,
you don't want him to miss any time.
I need a good team.
That's right.
No.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see too. I don't know, another wrinkle in this, which I don't know if you guys have heard, which might affect salary cap and things down the line with contracts, is NFL's in court right now. Goodell and Jerry Jones both testified in a court case over NFL Sunday Ticket. They're being sued by, I think it's like I don't know if it's class action, but it's over 1 million people suing for at least compensation of the price of the ticket, which you had that up, and it's well over $1 billion of potential legal payout here if the NFL loses, that they would have to cough up. And it's
not even like 10% of Goodell's salary.
They give zero fucks about $1 billion.
Well, no, it's like $10 billion. Like it's a not insignificant number, I know. But hey, I mean, that would build a football stadium if they would actually pay for it.
Oh, that's why Pete wants to talk about this.
No, it doesn't.
It built in Buffalo.
It has nothing to do with that. No, but what it does have to do is me wanting a cheaper NFL Sunday ticket. And the case is...
Yeah.
Right. The case is about them just basically lofting the price up so high strictly to protect broadcast viewer
you don't need Sunday tickets, just get
for
Red Zone.
CBS and but even so, like, that's still a premium product. Like,
doesn't cost as much as Sunday ticket, that's for sure.
No, but the fact that like they're basically have evidence that they're inflating the price ridiculously way higher than it ever needs to be just to handshake behind closed doors with CBS and Fox to preserve their TV ratings there, so that they'll still pay the NFL of the wazoo for their content. So it's...
I mean, though, here's the thing, right? This is a completely different topic and we are out of time, but sports is moving to streaming and everybody's going to get on board eventually. And we're just at the beginning, right?
Yeah. It's just...
Every NBA playoff game was on streaming. Every NHL playoff game was on streaming. And that's because arena sports are a little bit behind. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the NFL has a product, and they deserve to be able to sell it for whatever they want to.
Right, but I mean,
this is one of the fiscal things we disagree on, Pete.
Well, is it better for your product to have 1/10 the subscribers because it costs 10 times what it should?
It's the richest organization. It's the richest organization in the whole entire world. They're doing.
They'll
just
get their
fine.
money somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm just interested to see which way this case
They give
goes.
zero fucks. They honestly give zero fucks about it, and I bet they won't even lose because they, it's football. They know all the judges, and
I'm curious because I didn't think it would even get this far. I didn't know they actually had a case, but we'll see.
Totally.
I want cheap NFL Sunday tickets, so I'm rooting against the NFL here.
Don't get Sunday ticket. Just get Red Zone.
Okay.
And we're out of time.
You've been out of time. All right.
You're out of time.
Say it ain't so. I will not go. Turn the lights off for next topic. Na 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 na.
So we're gonna keep it on the NFL. I don't know if this was a Pete term, but the Pete proclaimed Division of Death, AFC North, will be featured on HBO's Hard Knocks this season. This will be the first time the show has chronicled an entire division. The Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and Steelers all look to have the ability to compete, and all have star QBs, or two, on their rosters. Lamar Jackson is coming off his second MVP win, but fell short in the playoffs. And the tied for highest paid QB, Joe Burrow, played just 10 games last season after a freak wrist injury, ending his season, and the Bengals themselves struggled. So with a ton of story development in the AFC North, which one will end up being the most interesting, and who will come out on top?
I'm surprised the Steelers agreed to that. Like,
Me too.
Mike Tomlin's an old school coach. So I wouldn't think that he would want, some of his secrets to be potentially revealed on camera.
I'm sure there'll be clauses for what they're allowed.
Yeah,
to
unless
edit.
he has like a final cut thing. In there.
I'm sure all these teams do. Otherwise, they would never be allowed to have cameras in there.
I have the feeling that this show is gonna kind of reflect more of that QB show on Netflix. If anybody hasn't, watched
absolutely.
QB is on Netflix. They should. It's amazing.
I mean, just the quarterback room in Pittsburgh is going to be so intriguing.
It's just so interesting, right? And the drama that's developing in Cincinnati, the powerhouse that the Ravens are turning into, the Steelers always winning, the Browns and them winning.
I'm not interested in the Browns.
No, but I mean, like, the Browns are
unless they show Deshaun Watson's like post workout routine where he gets a massage and shit happens.
I don't know if I want to see that either. It seems a little
too soon.
Yeah. Where's the sound bar?
That David Njoku accident last season was also really tragic, and the fact that he came back, that's really cool.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually
You'll be curious to see Chubbs.
Right. Fucking Chubbs will be back. Like, the Browns are going to be better than they were, as their defense is still incredible.
They're predicting a lot of wins for them this year.
They don't have Joe Flacco.
The Joe Flacco effect.
No, Joe Flacco.
Guys, did you know that Joe Flacco almost won me a fantasy championship?
I know. Amazing.
You gonna pick him up again this year?
I don't know if I think that. Okay, so this is my problem.
Because Anthony Richardson is gonna die by like week 4.
Right, this is my problem with Joe. Anthony Richardson doesn't know how to run safely. Joe Flacco is immortal, a vampire. I'm not sure what's going on there. So,
and Jonathan Taylor might have a resurgence.
So Jonathan Taylor is such a fucking garbage player sometimes.
He burns so brightly for so briefly.
So brightly for 2 seasons.
That's what running backs do.
1.5 seasons.
Unfortunately.
Jesus.
That's what running backs do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really glad you signed yours for a shitload of money. That was good.
It wasn't that much money.
$17 million guaranteed for a running back is a shitload of money.
Over 4 years.
That's not bad. 17 over 4? Is that less than Saquon's making?
Hey, now.
Saquon's making a lot. Sorry, Jeff. That's not going to work out.
Yeah.
Just wait until he gets hurt next season. The season after that.
No. This is his first year, so he'll be fine. But after that, he'll get hurt.
Yep. Conveniently.
Sorry, Jeff. But I mean, who's going to win the AFC North? Let's see what people think.
I mean, how can you go against the Ravens? Really?
I think the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's
How can you
theirs
go
to
against the
lose.
Ravens? I don't
Yeah.
know if they're going to win the Super Bowl.
I don't know. They,
I mean,
like everybody
the
else,
Chiefs
they got
are
to get past
still.
the
The Chiefs
stupid
are
Chiefs.
still. Yeah, exactly.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
Right,
Does the AFC make you cry?
Yeah.
I mean, it would
20
make me-
years of like
it would make
fucking
me
Tom
cry.
Brady and the Patriots. Sorry, Mark. And then it's like, oh my God, he left. He's not even in the conference. Oh, freedom. Ah, fuck
now
the
you have Patrick
Chiefs.
Mahomes.
Damn it. Could you at least give me like a 3 or 4 year window where it was anybody's
the last two
chance?
major NFL dynasties are AFC teams. And you're just like, fuck.
Hey Matt, you gonna make any? You gonna make any
Mhm.
plans to go to Pittsburgh?
No. No.
Really?
No. We were gonna go to. Yeah. No. I just. Nah.
Does he need to be starting? Is that what needs to
I mean,
happen?
if he starts,
That would be
if
fun.
he starts, maybe because my brother-in-law is a huge Steeler fan, so maybe I'd go out there. I want Mason to go with me, but he refuses to go to a football game.
Really?
Really?
He's still
Just-
pretty young.
Won't do it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I don't think I went until I was 9 or
but
10.
we took him
so-
to a hockey game, and he's got that. So
Okay.
yeah, he seems to be getting into hockey.
Hockey's
That's
a lot of fun. Hockey games are a lot of fun.
But yeah, no trips to Pittsburgh this year.
Mm.
So
Gotta
I've-
wait and see how it develops.
Never visited Pittsburgh. Have you guys been? It seems like a fun
Yeah.
city.
Yeah,
I would
mean,
like to go there.
there's some parts of Pennsylvania that are really nice. There's a lot of really good food. Pirates are real good.
I want to visit the Pirates
Hmm.
Stadium that by Three Rivers. I know it's not Three Rivers anymore. What is
Yeah.
it? PNC.
Yeah, Pirates are real good.
Yeah.
We're at time.
Yep.
Paul Skeens, man.
So yeah, gotta watch this on Hard Knocks though, for sure.
Word.
We like to thank another fake sponsor, Grind Gear Boxing Equipment. Step into the ring with confidence using Grind Gear Boxing Equipment. From gloves to wraps, we've got everything you need to pack a punch. Grind Gear. Fight to the finish.
I thought you were gonna say fight to the death.
Till the death.
Fight to the death.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody on the pod. Here's the next topic live.
Well, that's good.
Whoa,
I
slick.
actually did that pretty good.
That was good.
And I've had a little scotch. Now there have been many public figures that have voiced their concern for their mental health due to the daily stress, including Simone Biles, Michael Phelps, and most recently Rory McIlroy, which we talked a little about.
Mhm.
After a disappointing ending to this past weekend's U.S. Open at Pinehurst #2. Now the USGA event, which is one of the 4 majors for the PGA, has been Rory's Everest ever since winning the title 13 years ago, as he hasn't been able to duplicate the effort. This past weekend, he even had a 2-stroke lead with 5 holes to play, but he missed a couple of 3-foot putts, which is something he hadn't done all year. Now, the trials and tribulations had been too much for McIlroy, as he said he will be taking a few weeks off to recuperate, essentially due to mental health reasons. So we've spoken about this topic many times on this pod, and I'd like to shine the light on ourselves for a change. In fact, we'll all be taking a few weeks off from the show for various vacations and mental breaks ourselves as we toy with our very own sanity. So everyone, aside from vacations, what specifically do we do to help our mental health?
I mean, honestly, that even if it's not a vacation, just changing, doing something different. Right, your brain can just have that monotony. It overthinks things, and I think with Biles too, right? She was literally like over. I mean, you could almost like say she was getting like these over rotations in her landings. I forget the term that she called it, but it was probably just because she's overthinking in her head. It's like you're at your best when you're excited to do the thing you love, and if you aren't right now, you're teetering on burnout. It's, that's a slippery slope, and you gotta. Like anything, you need to refresh. You can't do the exact same thing forever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, and you guys have heard me talk about my anxiety a lot. Anxiety is a bitch. The fact of it is, like, I'm trying to teach a human, in my daughter, how to deal with this feeling that sometimes you feel like you're not good enough, right? And even if you're good, like even if you're really good at something, like
We all have
you-
self-doubts, right?
But
Sure.
there's always that voice in your head that says that you're not good enough. But like,
Mhm.
and what that comes from is this like chemical imbalance in your body that says that everything is a big fucking deal. Like everything's a big deal. And so what I've done, right, is there's been a long time in my life. We just talked about this to a friend of mine, and I mentioned my anxiety and how I've been dealing with it. And he goes, well, I mean, that's not like a flaw, John. That's like a feature, like,
Yeah.
right? And that's the thing that is really fucked up about anxiety in the way that I handle it is like I explain this to therapists that I've talked to over the years that I build this trellis of control and of organization around it, and by doing that and by holding really tight on it, I feel successful. And now that I'm taking CBD and I'm taking things a lot less seriously, I tell Melanie, I joke with her, I'm like, I'm a lot less good at things. Like good, like right quotes. But the fact of it is that stranglehold isn't tenable. This is not a tenable thing that you can do your entire life. You can't stay at 11 all day because eventually you're gonna crumble. And that's the hardest part. It's the hardest thing to teach, Jamie, is that A, try your best. But B, if you fail, it's okay.
Yeah, you're gonna eventually fail. You can't be good at everything. You're gonna fail at some things.
Yeah. I'd almost argue you need to fail sometimes.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, another thing that I say all the time
I tell
is...
Mace.
God? What do you tell Mason?
I tell Mason all the time. I said, if you do everything perfect, then it's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that makes
you're not
sense.
learning anything. If you can do everything perfect right away, it's not fun. You have to make mistakes, screw up. You have to fail, and it's as long as you take that failure and learn from it, then you're fine.
Well, I'll tell you, and put it in the
You
chat.
don't fail and then just melt down.
Tweet it
Right.
to us, put it on our socials. But the time in your life where you learn the biggest lessons, and I'm telling you, because it's, at least for me and everybody I've ever talked to, the only time you really learn something is if it stings. Like, it has to sting.
Mhm.
Because if it doesn't sting,
Yep.
you forget.
Well, it's a very good reinforcement.
Right.
I mean, and you do, right? And the human brain is so good at of glossing over and rationalizing and saying that wasn't that bad. That's fine. And then the only times that I've really gotten in actual trouble in my life are the times that I've learned the biggest lessons that I've ever learned. And one of them being that I'm not invincible. Not invincible. I'm not gonna live forever.
You don't know
And
that.
they're gonna put me
Science
they're gonna
breakthrough allows us all to live forever.
Well, they're gonna put me in the grid, right? Ghost in the Machine.
No,
By Haunted
you can be
Premonition.
one of
Yes.
those. No, we're all going to be those heads in the formaldehyde jars like in Futurama.
Well, I think I just want to be put in the internet.
Yeah, that'd probably be better than being a floating head in a jar.
All right, but specifically now, is there anything that we do to kind of ground ourselves to, like John, you do Ice Cream Thursdays, right? And I'm sure that's something that you look forward to every week. It's something that's not only good for you, it's good for Jamie. Like I'm curious into stuff like that. Like, what do we do to kind of keep our sanity?
I mean, I always take time for myself.
By the way, what you and Mel do, like having a night just by yourself, you still do that, right?
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I told Melanie
when you're not a parent, like you're not a husband or a wife, you're just you.
I told Melanie very early on in our parenting journey, being crazy, like always doing it, like being at 11 all the time, and I just said, right, not tenable. You're not as good as you can be as a parent if you're not clear, right? If you're always stressed, if you're always going, because there's going to be a time for you, Pete, right? And
I'm already learning this very quickly.
Not
advising
you, but like there's going to be a time where they notice. And there's going to be a time even worse where they notice and they don't talk to you about it. They're like, oh, like Jamie came to me once and were like, Daddy, you look sad. And I'm like, and I was anxious. And I was just like, oh, baby, here's why. And I tried to explain it to her. But like, they're people and they make assumptions on the world just like you do. And you want to make sure that those assumptions aren't, I'm mad at you or you're doing something wrong or you're bad, right? And you don't think that shit, but they might.
Yeah.
So you
Right, their
always
mind's
have
racing.
to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, their minds are theirs, and
Yep.
it's impossible to think of until you think of it. That they exist separately from you, and they're people that are separate than you. And I don't know. I try to be open, and I try to be honest, and I try to be present. And present is the big one for men in their 40s because there's a lot of shit going on, right? You have work, and you have bills, and you have responsibilities, and you just have all this stuff that's constantly weighing on you.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
also take meds.
Well, just even tonight. Well, tonight, for example, too, like Mason wanted to do stuff, and I got home from work. I had enough time to eat dinner. I had to run out and get shit for the pool. Then I had to go pick up something. Then I had to have a PTA meeting for 2 hours. I got home at 9, and this
Fuck your
started.
life, buddy.
So I didn't see him.
oh,
And it gets, but it gets to a point, like you were saying, where you're like, that you're stressed out, and then they come to you and be like, "Is it something I did?"
yeah.
It's
So
not.
that
It never is, but unfortunately, they take the brunt of it sometimes.
So Pete, we're gonna end, and we're doing really great on the show. So we're over time, but we have a lot of time. So we're gonna end on Pete. What have you learned already about parenting and stress and your own anxiety and your own existence?
Oh yes. Well, first off, to Mark's saying about the John and Mel having the date of themselves, Steph and I called those me nights, and we used to do those all the time. We would do 2 of them a week at least, sometimes more, before Liam. And now that he's here, it's definitely harder to do it. We're trying to figure out how to reincorporate that back in. Like tonight is kind of like one for me. Wednesdays have become one for her, although lately I've been batshit crazy with work stuff and haven't been able to give Steph the time. So, and sometimes things are crazy where like I don't have any time. So we're still trying to figure out how to get back into that. But I think it's definitely something that can help a lot for all the reasons John said. And sorry, so you're asking then what I've learned so far.
Well, you were I monologue a lot, so I'm sorry about me monologuing
I mean,
a lot. But you were going to say what you do, and then what you've learned right
Well,
now,
I mean,
up
it's-
until this point, 7 months in.
I mean, sometimes it's like your favorite podcast, just something that you can settle down that puts you in a good space, makes you comfortable, lets you just kind of let your mind wander. Running, I still love running, and it's a big thing to clear my head. I don't have as much time to do it, but when I do cherish it now a little bit more because it kind of makes you feel free.
That's the time when I'm most stressed, when I stop running regularly.
Yeah. Oh, it has a for sure positive effect when you're able to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just those are the kind of things, and kind of working. It's like walking that fine tightrope between keeping Liam to a schedule and kind of nudging him towards certain things to help us stay sane, but also us kind of rolling with his punches and adapting to his wants and his needs and just trying to feel that out. So
it's really hard when he can't tell you.
Yeah, right. He kind of like we understand some kind of primordial communication cues that he gives us, but right, it'll be a lot easier when he can be like, "Yo, I'm hungry."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yo.
okay.
Yo,
Sometimes it's harder when they can tell
Feed
you
me.
exactly what they want.
That's true. Right, there's pros and cons to that.
That is a true fact.
I heard this really early, but it's really true. The problems don't get easier; they just get different.
Different.
Yep.
You know, different stresses, different problems, different worries.
Yep.
Today I'm not a sponsor, but I signed Jamie up for Greenlight. Greenlight is a service where you give your kid a debit card, right? And you can feed it and do allowance, but it's all app based and it's controlled.
Mason has one.
Yeah. It's a great product. So
Wow.
fucking cool. So we just signed up for that today.
Cool.
Because she has her phone now, so she can manage her own app, and I just feel like it's going to go very well.
Phone, she's got a green light thing. I just picture Jamie's like, "Let's go to the mall, everybody." It's like
I mean, she likes to go.
again.
She likes to go to the mall.
Yeah.
She stopped robbing sparkles.
Yes.
I mean,
If
she's
it's
like
for Canada,
a little
she would
Robin.
be. She'd sing the theme song and everything.
Come and play.
If I could raise a super cool,
every last care away.
I'll tell you what. My goal is to raise a super cool chick who
Today.
can talk for herself and maybe likes a scotch every once in a while.
Yeah.
And
we're so overtime.
I think that's a
but
good,
we're
good way
running
to,
good.
That's a good way to end this one, though.
It was a good topic.
Nobody answered the question.
Wait, what was the question?
What do we do? It's so fucking esoteric, Mark. I hold my anxiety with both hands and try to fucking murder it.
No, we lost Matt.
We just lost Matt.
No, he turned his camera off. Matt, turn your camera back on. There we go.
Maybe he'll be right.
Is he gonna be right side up?
Right side up. I think we should continue as we're running a live broadcast.
Can we?
I said if you want to hear next topic, just go ahead now.
Was that it?
Do I need to do that again?
No, you did it great, man.
That was good. I thought you were gonna suddenly jump into doing the Robin Sparkle song.
I only have 3 seconds. And now it's time for a segment with a line that I'm stealing from Wait, it's not my turn, is it?
It's not your turn, buddy. I was just like, Mark, you're doing it again. You're doing the thing.
Double topic.
So, because it won't be topical next week, we have to talk about it. Oilers star and possible NHL MVP Connor McDavid started a chant on social media going into Game 5 of the NHL Finals, drag them back to Alberta. And he kept good on his promise, scoring twice and leading his team to a 5-3 victory, setting up a must-win Game 6 in Edmonton tomorrow night, which will be Friday after this game, before this is released. With the Panthers still up 3-2. Through 2023, teams have trailed 3-1 in a best-of-7 series 333 times. Only 32 times the trailing team has come back to win the series. That's 10% for all the kids in the back. With the last 2 games in Edmonton and McDavid feeling as though it's in playoff hockey, do we think the Oilers have a chance of winning the series? And how important overall is momentum in playoff sports?
Never mind that they are down 3-1. They were down 3-0.
They were down 3-0.
And now it's happened multiple times that teams down 0-3 have come back to win in a 7-game series. It's happened
32 times in the NHL in its history.
That's a long history.
You said 3-1.
That's not...
You said 3-1 that happened.
Oh, okay. I mean, yes.
But being down 3-0, I want to say it's happened 5 times. I could be wrong about that. But it's definitely happened more often.
Any playoff round?
No, any round.
Okay.
It's definitely happened more in the NHL than it's happened in all the other leagues combined. Now, can the Oilers come back? It depends, right? Like, why have they been winning these last 2 games? And the reason has been the Panthers' defense is tired of Bobrovsky is letting in goals.
Yeah,
he let up 8 goals in Game 4. Right?
Right.
No.
Right.
Overall, excuse me. The Oilers scored 8 goals. And Bobrovsky let up 4 goals last game. So they don't have a hot goalie anymore.
No.
Like,
so
can the Oilers do it?
What they have is an angry MVP.
Can the Oilers do it? I think they can.
Me too.
I think they have the momentum and they have the formula to do it. Now, clearly the Panthers have to do something different. Are they going to do it in Edmonton? Probably not. This series is probably going back to Florida. This is going to be a 7-game series.
No, I think that the last 2 are in Edmonton, and I think the Oilers were a higher seed. I believe they had They certainly had a better record. I looked it up.
I don't think the Stanley Cup playoffs is a 2-3-2 format though. I think it's 2-2-1-1-1.
That's how I remember it. Although
the Panthers hosted games 1 and 2. So
okay.
We could have the research department look that up. And while he does that, I don't know. Matt, what do you think?
I don't give a shit. So,
I haven't really been following.
I don't follow hockey, you guys.
Is this not that often? Like,
so Matt, you saw this on social media. The Oilers fan who took her top off.
I've seen the guy. Yeah.
No, but the girl who took her top off, she's an Oilers fan. You saw that on TikTok, right? Oh my God! You guys didn't see the Oilers flasher?
Right?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay, so there was an
What is on your algorithm that showed?
All right, so there's a girl
a lot of sports.
in an Oilers jersey in like kind of the nosebleeds, who's at a hockey game having a great time, and she flashes as one does, and there are like a lot of people with their phones on her, and she's just like, "Oh, I just did that," but it went super mega viral, and then the Oilers started winning. So I think it's her.
Clearly,
honestly.
she has to do that every game now.
I think it's her.
I mean, she.
We'll see what happens in Game 6, right? Do you think she got a free ticket to Game 6 because of it?
There have been multiple people who have searched her out. She still goes to the games. It's really a very funny story.
Oh my! As long as nobody's giving her like harassment, right?
No,
That's the worst thing you can imagine.
I will say this.
So if people are just having a good old fun about it, if she can have fun about it, okay, great.
I'm a superstitious motherfucker. Okay, so if I thought that like anything was doing something to help me win, I will do it every single time.
Every single fucking time.
Oh God! Can you just imagine like the scoreboard instead of like kiss cam, it's like flash cam. Come on, Oilers fans.
At the end of the day, Connor McDavid had MVP stats. He's the best offensive player in the whole league, and
I'd say, well, he has the potential to be the best player, period, in the league. I think.
Right. And at the end of the day, if he decides to put, and that's what he did in Game 5, if he decides to put the team on his back, I think he has the ability to. Honestly, and so hockey's a little different. If one of the and Florida has a number of them, but if one of the big defensemen on Florida decide to hurt him, which they might, then maybe that stops.
But I mean, he's got like those tree trunk legs though. Like he's hard. He's hard to take
down.
David's
a big guy,
right? He's not a small pushover dude. Like it's not quite like Gretzky, where it's like you had to have enforcers to protect him. I think he can kind of hold his own. So
he's 6'1",
but it's his lower body is stout as fuck, from what I've heard.
6'1", 194.
Your lower body is stout as fuck.
I mean, I run,
dude. Inappropriate.
I'll take the compliment. But now on the Panthers side, though, it certainly sounds like they could use
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Yes. Got to find a way to sneak in
super topical.
And just
super topical, buddy. Super topical. So, final thoughts. Who wins this series, Mark?
I think the Panthers still win.
I think the Panthers still win.
I think the Panthers win in Game 7.
Do they? They don't win Game 6. They don't win Game 6 though.
I don't think they win. So. I think the series is going back to Florida, but I think the Panthers are going to do.
They're going to come all the way back to make it 3-3, and then Florida's going to win it.
Oh, because they definitely win in Edmonton, right? For sure.
Yeah.
Because that place is going to explode. Game 6, do or die, Canadian hockey. Fuck yeah, I want to go.
For a while there was so much parity between the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals. Like the better team won the first 3 games, then the other team came back to win Game 4. Now the Celtics won Game 5, but the Panthers didn't win their Game 5. So now we're going in a different direction. So I don't really know where this story is going.
Do we think that the Panthers are a better team?
Yes.
Well, but you said yourself though their defense is shot at the moment.
They're tired.
And if the goalie's got the yips, I mean that can run your team right down the drain.
How many games did the Bruins take them? I wasn't following.
The Panthers?
Yeah.
I don't think it was that long of a series. I want to say it was 5. It definitely wasn't 7. It was either 5 or it was 6, but I think it was 5.
NHL is such a battle of attrition though. Like you can have the team that's the best in paper going in. By the time you're halfway through the second round, I mean you could have half your starting lineup just beat the hell up.
Oh no, the Panthers breezed through the playoffs. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
4-1, 4-2,
like the Celtics.
4-2.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
Oh, okay. So it was six games with the Bruins.
I don't know.
Yeah. 6 games with the Bruins, 6 games with the Rangers.
So are you guys rooting for McDavid though? I want to see him win. I feel like
I'm rooting for McDavid. Yeah. I think that's a much better sports story.
It's about time for Canada to win a Stanley Cup.
Right, in Edmonton of all teams, right? It's been since Gretzky played for them, like
I know.
40 years ago.
There's way too many comparisons of McDavid to Gretzky, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're similar players. Right?
I mean, was Gretzky a center or winger though?
Center.
Oh, he was center. Okay.
He was the center.
The center. Well, yeah.
The great one. Mark Messier, baby. All right, we're at time.
Let's go.
Let's go. Sing me a song, Mark.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do something.
No.
I heard the "Let's Go" and I was like ready for like.
I know. I was waiting for something after that.
Mortal Kombat music to come on, like.
I mean,
next topic.
all right, done.
Okay.
And now it's time for a segment with a line that I'm stealing from the Animaniacs, and now it's my turn. So it's time for another good idea, bad idea. So I will
Yes.
name off an idea or proposal, and everyone says whether or not they think it's a good or bad idea. You get it?
I think so.
All right.
It's time for Animaniacs, and there's Zany to the max. So just sit back and relax and we'll fall back.
Well, you're out of time anyway for copyright safety.
So
Pinky
good,
and the
good
Brain
idea.
Try to rule their universe. Good feathers slapped together. Wacky zapped up in their purse. I love Animaniacs so
Yes.
much.
Good idea or bad idea? The Celtics celebrating their championship in Miami prior to the parade in Boston.
Bad idea.
Yeah. Seems like a slight on the fans.
Bad. You
That
saw all
definitely
the
seems like a
people
bad
that were
idea.
out in Boston when they won. They are
Well, that's
itching.
different. That's a different story.
They are itching.
If they were going to party with the people in Boston, then someone might die.
This
Although
isn't
that's
until-
essentially what the championship parades have become, is just people day drinking and
I
Right,
think
lighting stuff on fire. Or is that
Tatum
Philadelphia?
just needs, or Jalen Brown, that is, needs to figure out how to cure hangovers at MIT, and then
he might. He's smart enough. He might.
I love that he's a genius. That makes me so happy.
All right. Good idea, bad idea. Travis Kelce signing a 2-year extension with the Chiefs.
Bad. He should retire immediately.
Good
Bad
idea,
idea.
because he should finish his career with the Chiefs and get
He
first
got a
ballot
good
Hall
amount of
Fame.
money. I think it was $17 million.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good idea for him and Chiefs fans. Bad idea for everybody else.
Okay. Good idea or bad
Yeah.
idea? Astros pulling Ronel Blanco after 7 no-hit innings.
Bad idea. You never pull no hitters.
So he got a no-hitter
bad.
earlier in the year. This is
We
this
should
is
get
the thing in
another.
baseball now. This is the thing in baseball. They are totally concerned about pitch count. And
Why
I
would
don't
you
care if
pull
you have a
that?
perfect game. I don't care if you have a perfect game or a no-hitter. You're getting yanked. Now, granted,
That's no
this is his first real year in the majors. So maybe a little bit of legitimacy into doing something like this, because you don't want to kill the guy. If Jeff were on the show, he remembers the Johan Santana no-hitter where he had over 140 pitches, something he had never done in his career, and he was never the same ever again after that.
But he
So
got
there's
that
a little,
no-hitter, I guess.
there's a little bit, yeah, okay, that's great. He had a no-hitter. He doesn't
Yeah.
have anything else.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hmm.
Does it really
This
take
guy has
that
a
much of a
potential bright
physical
future.
toll on them? I guess it depends on the
It
type
depends.
of pitch.
All right. Good idea, bad idea.
It depends
Clemson.
on what his styles are.
Hmm.
Yeah. Good idea, bad idea. Clemson suing the ACC for owning its media rights.
Ooh.
Bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to win this.
Is there any
I don't-
legal standing for them
Yeah.
suing?
Essentially,
No.
Clemson is arguing that the ACC doesn't control their media rights, that Clemson actually does, because people want to see ACC games because of Clemson.
That doesn't sound like the legal basis for suing them, though. Like if it's all I's dotted and T's crossed.
That's
mean,
their
that-
argument.
Yeah, that sounds like maybe a call to
Mm.
renegotiation.
They also
table, but
they
not-
also don't want to pay an exit fee in the event that they decide to leave the ACC and go to another conference.
So instead, they're going to pay a shit ton of lawyer fees.
I don't know.
Ugh.
Yeah.
All right, good idea, bad idea. The Bahamas spending money protecting marine protected areas or MPAs.
Good idea.
Good.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Save the planet.
good idea.
Coral reefs, baby.
Why aren't other countries doing this?
Because they're not as cool as the Bahamas.
Some might be.
I don't know.
No, the Bahamas literally spending the country's money in protecting the ocean life.
All right, well, let's think about what
It's in their
where the
own
Bahamas makes all,
self-interest too. They want
where
the
does the
tourism,
Bahamas
too.
make all its money? Literally
Right.
every dollar.
Those beautiful reefs. That's like their moneymaker.
I mean,
Well, there's a
tourism.
Bacardi rum
Tour-
factory.
I don't,
Yeah,
Well,
tourism. What does it have to do? What does that have
no,
to do with
that's in
the
Puerto
ocean
Rico.
life?
I was
though?
there.
No, 100% has to do with the ocean life. If the ocean
no, they
suck,
have one there
less
too.
people
That's
will
right.
go.
All right, but people aren't going to the Bahamas because of the marine life.
They're not?
Some are.
Not really.
I think
Not
you
really.
might.
Not a lot.
Snorkeling and
Not a lot.
tours out there.
Snorkeling and
Yeah.
beautiful blue water and
Listen,
it being
I
the
went
Bahamas.
there for a cruise, for a wedding.
On the water, Mark.
Yeah, but I wasn't there to see the animals.
But you could have flown there and stayed in the middle of the city, but you didn't.
Okay.
It's the Bahamas.
Has anyone tried?
100%.
Could you imagine?
100% related to water quality.
Talk about
I'm
destination
sorry.
weddings. What if somebody did a scuba wedding underwater in the reef?
We go scuba?
We all scuba. We go
It's one of my
scuba.
favorite movies.
That's a cool idea.
Mark gets it.
Along
I
came
can't
No, no,
Polly.
but
Was that?
Mark
Along came
gets it.
Polly.
That was Polly or
It's one of
Forgetting
my-
Sarah Marshall?
No, it was definitely Along Came Polly with
okay.
Ben Stiller and Jen
We go,
Aniston.
Okay.
we go scuba?
That's.
Yeah.
I knew the line.
We go scuba.
I forget which movie it was. One of those 2000s comedies.
Forgetting
Sarah.
Sarah Marshall had a vampire musical.
Yes. Die.
Yes.
Die.
Yes,
I
yes.
can't.
Yes. Oh my god. Do it again. That was amazing.
That's all. I'm never gonna do it as good as that.
Never again.
All right, and the
All right,
last
go.
one. Good idea, bad idea. Red Lobster filing for bankruptcy.
I
Good
guess
idea.
good if
Red
they have
Lobster's
to.
terrible. Red Lobster's terrible.
I mean,
Cheddar Bay biscuits, though.
I mean, were they ever really good?
Yes, I love Cheddar Bay biscuits.
I remember one time having some good food there.
That's
one,
just like-
one time.
That's like I've been to Olive Garden a lot, but it's not Italian food.
No,
It's like
No, it's
well,
not.
it's like the Friendlies version of Italian food. It's like
No.
Red Lobster is
Yeah.
the Friendlies version of seafood.
Right.
It's like fine.
It's good to you until you've had better, and then you're like, oh, wait a
Did
second.
you hear what is
Right.
the primary reason for this though?
Because nobody goes to Red Lobster anymore.
No.
No,
Do you
they-
guys
I remember the story. They overspent on something.
all you can eat shrimp?
Yes. They
Like, they
bankrupted the
had
entire
a-
company.
They had a marketing deal of all you can eat shrimp, and people just went nuts.
That sounds like fake news to me, though.
Hold my beer.
No, it was just mismanaged. It was.
I know, but no, you think about it though. You're Red Lobster, right? And
They lost
you've
millions of
started-
dollars with that promotion.
like, just think about it for a second. You started your all-you-can-eat shrimp deal, and the first day you lose $1 million. Let's just say you lose $1 million your first day. Don't you stop?
They didn't.
They didn't
But
stop.
don't you just stop? You're like, listen, guys, I know you like the shrimp, but we can't afford this, and we're Red Lobster. And they'd be like, that sucks, but at least you're not bankrupt. And they're like, oh, you got to hold on. It's like sometimes Melanie goes to the grocery store. Love you, Mel. But sometimes Melanie goes to the grocery store, and she spends too much, but it's in the cart, and she just has to buy it. She's like, I have to buy it. It's in the cart. I'm not going to put it back. And this is
I mean,
the
that
most
sounds logic to me.
I mean,
it's the most frustrating husband thing ever because you're just like, but what?
it's in the
It's in
cart,
the cart.
John.
It's in the cart.
What? You don't have to
You can't
buy
argue
it.
with that. You can't argue with that, John. It's in the cart.
You don't have
It's
to
in the
buy the
cart, John.
groceries, just like you don't have to give the shrimp for free. You don't have to. It's not required.
They couldn't
think I
help
just-
themselves.
I think I just won logic. I feel proud of myself.
Did you just virtual high five yourself?
No, I did that.
Okay.
I did.
I high five,
did.
John.
I
Virtually.
heard it coming, and I know the timing.
You saw
It
the
takes
hand.
forever.
You're like, oh.
I did. I did. I did. All right. Hey, Mark. Do you know what time it is?
It's the final topic.
Amazing. So even after their 17-5 loss today, we're still going to talk about how great the
Did
Yankees
lose 17-5.
are.
Yikes.
Yankees captain Aaron Judge is probably having the hottest streak of his career, leading his Yankees to a 50-24 record
He's mucho bueno.
and a hairpin game and a half lead, which they have now lost against the red-hot Baltimore Orioles. In the last 40 games, he has hit .387 with a 1.439 OPS and a league-leading 26 home runs. In May, Judge slugged .918, which is the 10th best slugging month in Yankee history, behind guys like Root and Gehrig. clearly you can feel my excitement at the Yankees previous to the series against the Baltimore Orioles performance. But can they keep it up? What needs to go right and what possibly can go wrong? And I'll just add, Aaron Judge getting hit on the hand by a baseball yesterday is one of the things that could possibly go wrong.
Yeah, and happened to Mookie Betts too.
And no broken bones for Aaron, but lots of hit by pitches. Gunnar Henderson getting plunked. No fights, so that's good.
Is Judge going to miss some games?
He missed today and yesterday, but they are, I think, just taking it easy.
I mean, clearly that's what can go wrong, right? If Aaron Judge gets hurt, and he was having an AL MVP type year when he had 62 home runs, right?
Mm-hmm.
62.
Yep.
He was on pace to kind of do the same exact thing.
I mean, he's on pace again still. Taking a couple games off doesn't really affect how good he's playing. But it does affect his momentum.
He was really only doing this because he's 100% healthy again.
It does affect your momentum, and getting hit on the hand hurts, right? Getting plunked, does that give him a little bit?
With a 99 mile an hour fastball?
Does that give him a little bit of yips? Does it make you bail? Because he gets pitched inside a lot, and actually you can see by all the injuries this season, and all the guys getting hit, and like Mookie Betts getting hit on the hand, it seems to be pretty prevalent currently.
Is that something that umpires can start enforcing more though? Like what do you do to deter that?
Well, that's what you do
that's part of baseball.
When your captain and your MVP gets hit on the hand, and then the next inning, the best player on the Baltimore Orioles get hit, you throw some people out because that shit just escalates.
That's what I'm saying. There's got to be some kind of discipline for that.
Which is weird. They didn't throw people out, but I mean, in retrospect, a lot of the players like 1 for 1, and then it's done, and that has been kind of a baseball unwritten rule for a long time. They just kind of let that happen, and then nobody fought, and then it was just over.
I mean, one thing that's really been kind of enabling more people getting hit on their hands, I think, is the fact that of all the equipment that they can get to wear when they bat now. I mean, they almost have a suit of armor now when they get up there. They didn't have that back in the day. Like, we didn't really have seemingly as many of these high profile injuries to players. Now, there were a lot of brushbacks back in the day as well. Like, the batters were prepared almost to get hit. Now they feel invincible because of all this armor that they wear. And I think they're not really prepared to get out of the way of a pitch anymore. So, can the Yankees do what they're do without Judge? No, of course not. Even if Juan Soto, who I still say was the best free agent pickup of the offseason, goes off almost like Aaron Judge. I mean, he can't carry that team.
Well, here's the thing, right? And it's the thing that I talked about in the lineup with Judge before he had Soto. And when they were fucking around with his position and batting him 1 and batting him 2, a batter like Aaron Judge needs protection on both sides.
Absolutely.
Right? And so with Riz getting hurt a couple of weeks ago against the Red Sox, which was also incredibly weird, just tripped over the bag and ran into the first baseman and broke his arm. Not having Rizzo has already affected his average. And now Soto by himself, obviously the Yankees got killed today and yesterday, is already affecting the offense. Because when it was just Aaron Judge, you just didn't pitch to him. All shit in the dirt. If he wants to swing at it, fine. But you never you never give Aaron Judge a good pitch unless you have to. Especially Aaron Judge right now. You pitch him inside, and honestly, you try to kill him because you don't want him to ever hit the ball. I mean, that's what happened. That's why the Yankees were so pissed off, because they were trying. I mean, they weren't trying to hit him, but they weren't trying not to hit him either.
Well, that was a thing with baseball back in the day. You brushbacks were a thing.
Yeah.
How many times did Pedro almost hit someone?
I mean, so many times.
How many times did Roger Clemens almost hit someone? Randy Johnson.
Maddox.
And you're saying
Greg
almost.
Maddox.
Maddox, it may have been 70 miles an hour, but it was still heading for you.
yeah, right. But
He pitched slow. What do you think, Matt?
No, I agree with Mark. I mean, it's part of the game, but there is. I watch some of these games. Half the shit it takes them longer to put that crap on than they're in the batter's box.
And then when
They
they
got
take
their
it off to
elbow
get to
shields.
first
They
base.
got their masks coming all down here. Yeah, and it's ridiculous. They got the knee braces, the leg braces. It's just it's stupid. I mean,
Well,
you know they're wearing equipment
And-
actually
and-
when they go on the bases too.
It's
There's
gonna
like a
turn into,
special glove. There's a special glove that some base runners will wear.
Yeah.
Really?
Mark, did you see? You brought it up. Did you see the guy who
Acuna
was
last
sitting?
year wore it.
Did you guys who was sitting on the Green Monster? When the Yankees were in Boston this last time, and Stanton hit that home run over into that area, and he just like you toss the home runs back. That's what you do, Pete. He threw it as hard as he could, and he plunked Stanton in the head as he was rounding second base.
Oh, no.
Totally hit him, and then Stanton was just like, "What?
What the hell? It's a hell of a
It's
throw.
like what? It was a hell
That
of
is
a throw.
that is a pretty good throw.
Like,
Yeah.
And
I
you
know
didn't
how
mean to hit
tall
him.
that thing is. I've
Yeah,
been to
that-
Fenway.
Right.
Thanks, Mark.
Well, you get some extra distance when you're throwing from 100 feet in the air.
Yeah, but still, that's a
You
ways.
still gotta get
that's
a lot
ways
of mustard
away
on there to get it
all
to
the way
second base.
The diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact
Yeah.
that he hit Stan is just literally
a Henry
the funniest thing ever.
Rowan
Is
throw.
literally
Funky
it
butt
should-
loving.
it probably will get him free drinks in Boston for the rest of his life. Kind of amazing.
I was gonna say
that's
that
the
and,
kind
like,
of thing he just did.
Next season, he should totally go in as a walk-in to like spring training or whatever to see what he can do.
I
don't know.
will say this, and I had this as a topic. I think this Red Sox may have unveiled a small weakness with the Yankees because they stole 9 bases against them
That's not
in the rubber matchup on Sunday.
not untrue. Totally abused them on the base pass. I mean, the Red Sox being maybe one of the fastest teams in the league right now, though, right?
But they're not the
they're fast, real fast.
They're fast, but they're not the best offense in the league by far.
No, but if you get on base and you steal, I mean, you stretch, you stretch.
I mean,
the base
and
paths.
I didn't watch the Orioles, like how they scored all 17 of their runs, but I got to believe that there was probably some base stealing involved in there because every single professional sports league is a copycat league now, and people might be copying what the Red Sox did.
It's mostly Gunnar Henderson being very good at baseball, honestly. Anyway,
I think we end on
Matt,
that.
you're there, but you're not. So we feel you in spirit.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my stuff here today. It's
I
all
don't
good,
even-
buddy.
From upside
It's
down
just
to
weird. I've
like,
gotten kicked out 3 times.
you know,
Yeah,
what's going on?
I've had a restart, and yeah, I'm
It's okay.
dancing now.
We're pretty much done.
We are done.
All right. So we will be off for the next 3 weeks as we take some time off for vacations and, as we mentioned before, a little mental health break.
Summertime.
But that has been our 10 topics. Oh, sorry, that has been our
10.
topics. I know we don't do 10 anymore.
No.
I thought it's not even in my script. I just said it.
You just say it. You're so used to it. I love it.
As a reminder, we broadcast these live on YouTube Thursday nights at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific when we come back. If you can't catch us live, then feel free to watch us on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/@IfTheseBallsPod. And don't forget to subscribe to us by tickling that little
A
bell.
race to 50 subscribers, you guys. We're going. We're getting
We would
there.
like to thank our guests for joining us this week. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Even though you're
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Thank
He's
you.
here in spirit.
Yeah, I'm glitching crazy.
You can follow or like us on our socials at IfTheseBallsPod on X, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and TikTok. Our website is www.iftheseballsgoodtalkpod.com. This is Mark Pesci, and from our partner, John Companion, and producer, Pete Steffen, that's what we feel they would say if these balls could
If
talk.
these balls
Right on.
could talk,
Good night.
they